Hello. So recently I've been getting asked whether Left Click Mage or Right Click Mage is better, and today I'm going to be testing both of these out under different circumstances. So I'm going to be testing out how fast they are at clearing and how good these are at bosses. And I'm also going to be testing out 6 different weapons throughout this video. I'm going to be testing out the Yeti Sword, the Spirit Scepter, the Midas Staff for right click, and for left click I'm going to be testing out the Aspect of the Dragons, the Liver Dagger, and also a Giant Sword. But anyway, let's get right into the comparisons. Alright, so now onto Left Click Mage. At the start of the run, I'm doing 9mm, 6mm, 6mm, and 8 million. Now, one thing which is really important in dungeons is how fast you can clear. And from what I can see so far, in Left Click Mage, it is horrible at clearing. It's even worse than Berserker at clearing, and that is pretty bad. So I would not use this for clearing. But when it comes to bosses, at start I'm doing 800k to the Shadow Assassin, and even 1 million right here. On this frozen adventure, it's a bit hard to see, but I can actually tank it out due to the insane amount of lifesteal which I'm getting, and I deal a lot of damage to them every single hit. Onto a Midas, I've got to speed it up by 2 times, but you can see that I'm destroying through it. It's quite fast actually. And here's a Shadow Assassin. So normally these take ages to kill through, but I just do 2 million in a hit. Here's another one, and I kill it, do 2.5 million a hit. And on this Lost Adventure, I one-tap it. So now onto some terracottas. I'm doing 4 million a hit to these, which is a decent amount, and I've been able to survive these in a very untanky set. Alright, so now onto a giant. My first hit I'm going to be doing around 4 mil damage, and on the other hits I'm going to be doing about 2.5 mil, which is very good. Now onto a golem, 20 mil, then 26 million. And just doing some random damage tests, I get to 38 mil, then to 54 million, which is quite a lot of damage with a giant sword. Alright, so now I'm going to give my review on Left Click Mage. Left Click Mage is a very good class against mini-bosses, but is horrible against clearing. Yes, it does an insane amount of damage. As you saw, I got up to 55 million damage with a giant sword, and that was just in one hit. But the problem is, you can't clear very fast. Like, it's even worse than Berserker clearing. And Berserker is horrible at clearing, and that's from personal experience. But definitely one strong point of this class is against giants and golems. That's where its insane amount of damage becomes useful. It can one-shot golems with Liver Dagger Backstab, and potentially Giant Sword if you have good enough blessings and good enough stats. And in the boss room, if you use Liver Dagger Backstab, you can destroy through giants, and you can also destroy through Satan if you have 5 Left Click Mages. But it's better to just run with an archer. So anyway, that's my opinion on Left Click Mage. Now I'm going to get onto the clips with Right Click Mage. Alright, so now onto Right Click Mage. At the start, with Midas Staff, I'm doing 10 million. To this, 6 million, 10 million, and 8 million. And 8 million again, and 10 mil. It's quite inconsistent. With the Yeti Sword, I'm going to be doing about 3 million. And if I go over here, I'm going to be still doing around 3.5 million for Yeti. So now onto Superior Lost Adventure. I'm actually destroying through this thing, and I'm doing about 700k a hit, which is quite insane. And it's already dead. Now onto another Lost Adventure, which is a young Lost Adventure. I'm going to also destroy through this, just have to click in a few times, and it's already dead. Now onto a Frozen Adventure. These are normally very hard, but basically it gets one-tapped, or very quick. And onto a King Midas, you're going to see that's even faster than with Left Click Mage. Then onto a double. We've got a Shadow Assassin and a Lost Adventure. I'm able to knock both away with the Midas Staff ability, and this keeps me alive. So now I'm going to go onto some clearing. With the Spirit Scepter, I'm clearing about 10 times faster than I was with Left Click Mage, and this clearing speed with this is honestly insane. Now even with a Yeti sword, it's also insane, even though it's not even as good as the Spirit Scepter for clearing. Okay, so now onto some blood mobs. I can almost one-tap them, and I can just spam this ability and pretty much destroy through all of them. Now if I try use a Yeti sword and Spirit Scepter, it's not going to be as good, but it's still going to be quite good. Right, look at this insane clip here. I did 2-tap a Shadow Assassin. Now onto the boss. This is its major weakness, because in the boss room there's carpets, and this doesn't work with carpets very well, and it also doesn't deal a lot of damage to the boss, like 1 million. Now at end of dungeon, I'm going to be doing 17.5 with the Mitre Staff, which has an AoE effect, 16.5 there. With Yeti I'm going to be doing about 8.5 to 9 million, and with Scepter here I'm going to be doing around 800,000.
Alright, so now I'm going to give my review on Right Click Mage. It is very good at clearing while still being good at bosses. As you can see, I was doing almost a million a hit against bosses with the Right Click Mitre Staff ability, and I was clearing insanely fast with the Spirit Scepter. Before the Mitre Staff, I would have rated this class a lot lower, as without the Mitre Staff, it is only decent at clearing through bosses, and all you have is your 5-star Yeti sword, which is around 2.2 times worse than the Mitre Staff. But considering you have the Mitre Staff, this class is very good at clearing, as well as now becoming very good at going against mini-bosses. To sum all that up, this class is good at clearing, and still decent against mini-bosses. Alright, so now I'm going to go into my overall opinion on whether Left Click Mage or Right Click Mage is better, by pretty much comparing both of those two things which I just talked about. Since I've already done a lot of talking, I'm going to sum this up quite quick. I believe currently, if you could pick one, Right Click Mage is better than Left Click Mage, though right now the best to run would be running Left Click Mage at the boss room and Right Click Mage during the other part of the dungeon. So at the start of the dungeon you run Right Click Mage, then you switch over to Left Click Mage in the boss room. Why do I believe this? Well, Left Click Mage is amazing at clearing, while also still being feasible against like the yellow room mini bosses and also the brown room mini bosses, which are quite easy to kill. Though in the boss room there isn't much of a use for Right Click Mage, as most of the stuff you'll be doing should be left clicking to do the most amount of damage. For example, left clicking golems to one-shot them, left clicking giants to kill them through them fairly fast, and left clicking Satan if you don't have an archer. But anyway, that is my overall opinion. I believe that you should run Right Click Mage until the boss room, and then switch over to Left Click Mage for the boss. Anyway, thank you for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully be uploading more content soon, and I hope Floor 7 is also coming out soon.